Hello and welcome to eLagaan Whiteboard Fridays, where we look at various tax and compliance related issues in a user friendly fashion. So today we will look at, in case if you are trying to convert a private limited company to an LLP, then what are the things that you should be aware of. So although very few businesses do this, but there could always be a business requirement. Earlier, since LLPs were not there, so any business that had to register as a limited liability had to look at private limited was the only option. So now, since there is another option available, and if your business requirement can be suited with an LLP, then you can always look to convert your existing private limited to an LLP. So here are some things that you should be aware of. First thing is the shareholding pattern in the current private limited should be same as the contribution structure in the new LLP. So post conversion, there should not be any difference in the shareholding pattern or the contribution structure of an LLP. So that is the first and the foremost condition. Secondly, for any private limited company to move to an LLP, it has to comply with all the pending compliances. So any tax returns, any reports, returns, statutory filings, whichever is pending, all needs to be finished, all needs to be completed and updated before you can actually go ahead and convert. So you should be completely compliant on various filings. There should not be any secured creditors on the books of private limited. In case if there is any secured creditors, then you will have to obtain specific NOCs from those creditors, so that they don't have any issues from you for you to migrate to an LLP structure. So secured creditors could be agencies like banks or any other financial institution, or anybody else who has given you a loan against a security. So where a security has been given or pledged to take a loan. So in case if any of these people are there, then you will have to take an NOC or clear off their credit limits and clean off the books before migrating to an LLP structure. This is very important. Private limited company used to have a lot of foreign direct investment. It could be because anybody has invested in you, or you are a subsidiary company or anything. So if you have an FDI, then you have to worry a lot, because LLP FDI has limitations, and there it is not under the automatic route. So if you are already a private limited which has an FDI, then prior approval from FIPB, that is Foreign Investment Promotion Board, has to be taken before you can actually start the process of converting a private limited to an LLP. It's a lengthy process, it's a time consuming process. So but yes, this is very important. So this is one important factor, and a lot of startups, especially who have raised investments from investors outside India, if they are looking to move to an LLP, then this could become a major expensive and a bottleneck process. So that's it. On tax consideration, once you migrate from private limited to LLP, you can actually avoid capital gains on a lot of things. But there are certain, so big businesses cannot be, are not exempted. Business turnover, if it is more than 60 lakhs in any of the previous 3 years, today you are trying to convert. So in the last 3 years, if in any of the years, if your overall business turnover has been more than 60 lakhs, then capital gains would come into picture. So this facility of capital gains exemption is applicable only to smaller businesses, or essentially businesses having a turnover of less than 60 lakhs in the last 3 years. The profit sharing ratio of the original shareholders. So original shareholders means, so once you moved from a private limited to an LLP, right? So the amount of shareholders should be the same in both, right? The ratio and all, as we discussed here. So post conversion, if the profit sharing ratio for the entire original shareholders, if it goes below 50% in the next 5 years from the date of conversion, then capital gains could kick in. So the profit sharing for the shareholders, the current shareholders who are right now migrating to LLP, So profit sharing ratio for them in the new LLP should not go below 50% in the next 5 years, and you should not be using any amount from the accumulated reserves. So generally any company has accumulated reserves, and typically private limited companies used to pay that as dividends and all. So but since there is a huge dividend distribution tax, and once you migrate to an LLP structure, you can actually distribute that free to the share to the partners or to the partners. So to avoid loss of tax, the government has put this condition where for the next 3 years after conversion, you actually cannot pay any amount from the accumulated reserves to the partners for the next 3 years. After 3 years, yes, you can go ahead and start distributing those accumulated reserve as well, depending on whatever is the LLP agreement specifies. So these three are major conditions. There are a few more, but good to consult your tax expert before taking a call of moving from a private limited to an LLP. So these three are the major points if you want to avoid the capital gains on the new entity. Some more taxes. So Senvet credit, which is essentially your excise duty and service tax inputs that you claim on making various payments to your vendors, suppliers and all. So if you have any credit lying into your account, that cannot be carried forward to the new entity. So either you have to utilize that in the existing business, or you'll have to forgo that. And this could be a huge number again. So again, check out on this detail before you decide if you want to move to from a private limited to an LLP. So these are some of the important factors. So once you decide, then if everything is in line, then you can just go ahead and take a name approval and then submit various documents to convert it into an LLP. So that's it on eLagaan Whiteboard Friday today. Thanks for attending the same. Feel free to drop us an email at support@elagaan.com or check out our knowledge base at elagaan.com/kb. Thank you.